He comes back to defend his crown in more ways than one. Not only did he win the title last year, the championship for the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic, but he was also the king of the modifieds. That was an inaugural event at South Boston Speedway last year, and the teenager became the king of the modifieds, presented by Pace-O-Matic last year at the home of the Bologna Burger, South Boston Speedway. And that race will occur in just a few weeks, $20,000 on the line for the winner of that event, March 22nd on a Saturday. That will be main event day at South Boston Speedway in Southern Virginia. And you can see some activity on pit road right now. The Hillbilly Motorsports team, that number 79. We mentioned that 79 car for Joey Brown. You can see his team now pushing that car. He is scheduled to be the first car out for qualifying here today. So here's how qualifying will work for the Smart Modified Tour. Each of the 20 cars here today will take time. Then the pole award winner, the fast time qualifier here today, will draw a 4, a 6, or an 8 pill out of a hat. By virtue of the number that is selected, that many number of drivers will redraw for their starting spot. So it could be the top 8 from qualifying, top 6, or top 4. And that'll shuffle up how these drivers line up after qualifying, heading into the 99-lap Zach Brewer Memorial here today at Florence. Just moments away, and you can see the 79 has made its way to the front of the grid here today. That bright orange car for Joey Brown. He'll be the first out for qualifying in just a moment. Beautiful day today in Timmonsville, South Carolina. Temperatures in the 70-degree range. Bright blue skies overhead makes me want to go grilling. And of course, we have one of the best sponsors to help you take care of your grilling needs, and that is CitraSafe. CitraSafe is a non-toxic, biodegradable grill cleaner that was founded in 1997 under the name of Bryson Cleaner. In 2003, they rebranded to the name we know and love today, CitraSafe. You can find their products nationwide at stores like Lowe's, Home Depot, and Walmart, as well as many others. Be sure to check them out for all your grill cleaning needs or on the web at citrasafe.com. That's CitraSafe, proud sponsor of the Smart Modified Tour Choose Cone. If it's race season, then it's grilling season, and that means you need CitraSafe Grill Cleaner. First car out to qualify here today will not be Joey Brown. It'll be John Michael Chenette in that number 8 machine. He's out of Worcester, Massachusetts, in the 82 Services General Contractor Heinz Performance LFR machine. Chenette with a great run at New River All-American Speedway right around that Labor Day weekend. He led a bunch of laps in that event. Fell back a little bit later on at the conclusion of that race, but John Michael Chenette out of Massachusetts with his first lap of qualifying. And that'll be an 18.001 for John Michael Chenette. Chenette hoping to run the full season and maybe even have some development drivers with his team as well. John Michael progressing, a little wiggle off of turn number 4 for JMS, and it's a 17.867, 17.867. Obviously top time so far. This next driver, a 6-time winner in the Smart Modified Tour. He is out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. 2 years ago, he won the Bowman Gray Stadium NASCAR Modified Championship. He's in the Q104.1, KevinSaysYes.com, iHeartRadio, Kevin Powell's Foothill Ford. That's a Troyer machine for the 04 of Brandon Ward. And Brandon Ward's first lap, 17.508, 17.508. Quickest on his first lap already here at Florence Motor Speedway, a track that he's got tons of experience at. That car kind of stopping in the corner and a four-wheel slide off of turn number 4. Just a little bit better on his second lap. 17.458 for Brandon Ward. Next car on the racetrack right now, a veteran competitor of the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. He's out of Reedy Creek, North Carolina, in the Carolina Drilling Tutterow Racing Fury machine for the 21 of Jimmy Wallace. Wallace, a little bit slower pace coming off the corner. White flag in the air for Jimmy Wallace, his first time. 17.933. Got to pick it up just a little bit for Jimmy Wallace, a former top 10 finisher here just a few years ago in Smart Modified Tour competition. Checkered flag in the air. Jimmy Wallace will move up to second quick. 17.720 seconds. Now on the racetrack. Cannot believe this kid is racing with us. 14 years old for the driver of the 73 out of Galloway, New Jersey in the Jersey Shore Contracting. Iron Revolution LBI Pest Control machine for Paulie Hartwig III. Paulie made one career Smart Modified Tour start a few years ago at 12 years old. Now back. White flag in the air. One more lap to go for Paulie Hartwig, and quickest of all so far. 17.395 for Paulie Hartwig. Maybe it's the fact that he got a haircut here coming into this race, because that car is moving around this racetrack. Checkered flag qualifying concluded for Paulie Hartwig. His second lap just a little bit better. 17.375 to a 17.458. The difference between Paulie Hartwig III and Brandon Ward so far here in qualifying. Next car on the racetrack will be the number 79 machine. We mentioned clutch problems in practice. Had those warm-up laps to shake down that car prior to qualifying. This driver out of Long Island, New York, in the EME Industrial Highmark Building Efficiency, Sundrop, Walkertown Mill, and Rogers Farm Troyer for Hillbilly Motorsports. It's the 79 of Joey Brown. First lap on the racetrack for Joey. 17.655. 17.655 for Joey Braun. That car is still having some difficulties with that clutch earlier here today, and he's going to remain third quick. A little bit better on his second lap. 17.521 for Joey Brown. Next car, this driver led laps last year on the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. In the number 27 machine, another one of those New Jersey speedsters. He's out of Jackson, New Jersey in the North American Construction Amazing Graphics DMAC Pool Scott Car Engineering LFR for Justin Gumley. It's Blake Barney. Barney's first lap, good enough for third quick. 17.603 for the New Jersey racer, a winner at Wall Stadium in Belmore, New Jersey last year in modified competition. This worn-out racetrack is the only time Barney was telling me here today that he actually puts the pedal to the floor. Barney will remain third quick, 17.576, the quickest lap of record for the 27 of Blake Barney. Now on the racetrack, the number 63 out of Archdale, North Carolina, in the Louder Construction Carolina Steel Incorporated PSR machine for Josh Louder. Louder a phenom in crate modified racing. Now trying to test the waters, planning on about 7 of these smart modified tour shows in 2025. Louder, third quick, seems to be the magic number. Third quick on the first lap for all these competitors. 17.525. Can he pick it up? Coming off of turn number 4. Nice and steady on the bottom. A little twitch coming off the corner. And Josh Louder will go to second quick. 17.390. Barely missing the 17.375 of Paulie Hartwig the third. Here's one of 5 rookies planning to run for the Racing Electric title here today. This driver, a lineage of modified racing that he is following. He is out of Walnut Cove, North Carolina, and the Greg Butcher Trucking Bryson Brothers Aerial Solutions PSR for Slate Myers. Slate Myers, 4th generation racer out of the Myers family. Myers, first lap, 4th quick, 17.565 for the 16-year-old. Myers, a little wiggle, just like many others, coming off the corner for his final lap. Myers will remain 4th quick with a 17.564. The number 18 is now on the racetrack out of Lexington, North Carolina, in the Yates Grading and Paving PSR machine for Daniel Yates. Yates with a great finish to 2024, a couple of top 10 runs for the driver of this machine. Making his return to Florence Motor Speedway. Sideways coming off the corner is that 18 that lap. And Daniel Yates, because of that slideways condition, off of turn number 4, 17.840, 8th quick out of 9 cars on his first lap. Has not been here to Florence Motor Speedway in 3 years. Checkered flag for Daniel Yates, remains 8th quick, 17.840, his first lap, the best lap of qualifying for him. You talk about a family with history in modified racing, look no further than the driver of the 5CT out of Lisbon, Connecticut, and the Dolly's Collision and Custom CCP Incorporated LFR machine for Chris Pastriak. Charlie and Carl Pastriak made the Pastriak name famous in modified racing for so long at tracks like Stafford Motor Speedway in Connecticut, Thompson Speedway, and a whole lot more. Pastriak 6th quick on his first lap. Can he do better? And he does. Chris Pastriak goes to 2nd quick, 17.384, just 1/100th of a second off of the potential pole winning speed here today. This next driver, just 64 years young. He comes from the great state of Florida. Yes, plenty of sunshine there, just like it is here today. For the driver of the number 48 out of Deerfield Beach, Florida, in the A-Best Forklift Viper Graphics machine. It's a PSR car for Johnny K, Johnny Kievman. Johnny K, 9th quick, 17.821, his first lap. The 48. New numbers on the side of that race car. New scheme for Johnny K in 2025. Johnny K goes to 7th quick, 17.637 for the former late model hotshot out of Florida. Here is a former NASCAR Truck Series winner on the racetrack right now. Out of Miami Springs, Florida, in the Torch Eyewear Molecule Air Shock Drive Refine SRI Performance Bilstein Shocks Fury machine, it's Joey Coulter. Coulter, a winner here in modified competition in 2020. Since then, it hasn't been the best fortune. He did finish at the top 5 in this event 1 year ago, hoping to qualify just a little bit better than he had at the end of last season, and he's already going to do it. 17.327, already on top of the board. And his best lap is lap number 1, but we have a new fast time setter here during qualifying for the Smart Modified Tour. It's Joey Coulter with a 17.327. One of those rookie players now on the racetrack. This driver, a second-generation race car driver. He is out of North Carolina in the number 40 for the PSR team. It is their house car. with Bass Pro Shops on the outside of that car. 14-year-old Carter McMurray, son of Daytona 500 winner Jamie McMurray. Carter had tested this car just a couple of weeks ago, the 48th quick first lap, 17.588. Can he do just a little bit better on his second lap? No, he will remain 8th quick with a 17.588. He slowed down on that second lap, so the first one just a little bit quicker for Carter McMurray. Another rookie in this machine. Last year it was piloted by Brian Lofton. Now the number 15 is piloted out of an upstate New York driver. This driver out of Waverly, New York. In the K2 barbecue sauces, Ken Tibbles Roofing, Unique Coating, Steve's Tire and Automotive, Troyer. For Shady Grady Racing, it's Bryce Bailey. Bailey lined up 6 for this race last year. First lap on the racetrack for Bryce Bailey to the top of the board, 17.319. Sideways coming off the corner and to the checkered flag, but just a little bit quicker. 17.230 now the time to beat in qualifying, being set by the Shady Grady Racing car for Bryce Bailey. One of the fan favorites now on the racetrack. This driver from Walnut Cove, North Carolina, in the Citrasafe Grill Cleaners Peanut Patch Backyard Leisure Pool and Spas PSR. His wife, Kim, listed as the owner of this machine for 3-time Smart Modified Tour champion, the ace, Burt Myers. Burt Myers, 6 quick, 17.430. 17.430 for Burt Myers. Myers competed in the NASCAR Cup Series at Bowman Gray Stadium in the Clash just about a month ago. Coming off the corner, he loves Florence Motor Speedway. Into the checkered flag he goes. Burt Myers better on his first lap. So that's 17.430, the time of record for Myers. 6 quick for the driver of the number 1. A third-generation modified racer now on the racetrack out of Mooresville, North Carolina. For Tommy Baldwin Racing, this is a PSR machine for rookie Jack Baldwin. Baldwin, a student at App State University, hoping to get to victory lane this year on the Smart Modified Tour. First lap on the racetrack for Jack Baldwin. 14th quick, a little bit slower than we anticipated for this white 7NY machine. That time, 17.770. Baldwin driving with a broken ankle inside the cockpit of that race car. Jack Baldwin moves up to 8th quick, 17.474, but a lot of heavy hitters still to come in qualifying. A redraw will occur. It could be anywhere from 4 to 8 drivers redrawing for their starting spot in the qualifying redraw after this is done. A former Daytona 500 winner now on the racetrack out of South Bend, Indiana. In the Shitty Coolers, Finzer Rollers, Capital Automotive Group, Aggressive Hydraulics, Montrose Molders Corporation, PSR. With Randy Renfro leading this team, it's the Rocket Man, Ryan Newman. Newman completes his first lap of qualifying, and he's always good in qualifying. Newman, 10th quick, 17.537 for the Indiana driver. Former winner in the USAC ranks. He's won everything from trucks to Xfinity and in the Cup Series. And now Newman remains 10th quick. Trouble for that machine in qualifying here today. The number 10 with a best time of 17.537 on his first lap. This guy was one to watch in practice earlier today with a new team in 2025. Driving the number 99 for Jamie and Cheryl Tomeno. It is Jake the Snake Crum out of Statesville, North Carolina in the Mount Airy Toyota Troyer machine. And Jake Crum, first lap, pretty good. 17.335, good enough for third quick. Can he pick it up and unseat Bryce Bailey on the top of the board during Pace-O-Matic Pole Award qualifying for the Smart Modified Tour? And he just misses. Jake Crum on the 99, second quick. 17.262 for the veteran driver and former winner of the Valley Star Credit Union 300 at Martinsville Speedway in Virginia. Here's a driver from the midpoint on, really came into his own in the Smart Modified Tour in 2024. Driving the S&S Racing Ride, he is out of Oxford, North Carolina in the Pace-O-Matic PSR. It's J-Cash, Jonathan Cash. And Cash, ninth quick first lap. 17.474 for Jonathan Cash, former go-kart extraordinaire. Still works on a lot of those go-karts in some of the biggest races in the nation. Cash, a little sideways. That's going to hurt him in time. Can he do just a little bit better than ninth? He does not. 17.635, second time across the line. So the 4.74 will remain. He's ninth quick. He will be out of the redraw for good. The fastest man in practice earlier today here at Florence Motor Speedway. The final car to qualify here today in the 7V8 of Mooresville, North Carolina, and the Pace-O-Matic Stanley Law Group Mohawk Northeast PSR for S&S Racing. It's Luke Baldwin. Baldwin's second quick first lap. 17.250, 2/100ths of a second off the fast time so far. Can he get it done? Last year, he won more Pace-O-Matic pole awards than anybody else, and he just misses it. First lap is best for Luke Baldwin with a 17.250. So to be Bryce Bailey with the Pace-O-Matic pole award in qualifying for the Smart Modified Tour in the season opener here at Florence. 20 cars just qualified. We will go downstairs just momentarily for the qualifying redraw. We will talk to Bryce Bailey with Shady Grady Racing, winning the first pole of 2025 with a Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic.
Tough day, but we're here to celebrate because Zach was a race fan and a racer.
The Zach Brewer Memorial. You see his number 31 modified. Brandon Ward did a great job making that machine come back to life, and today it will lead the field to the green flag in the race in his name. I am honored to be here today as the voice of the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic, and I want to introduce to you Steve Zacharias, the owner of Florence Motor Speedway.
Thank you. If I can make it through this without crying, I'll do my best here. But this means a lot to us, our family. Zach and I, we spent a lot of time together, and when I woke up and found out about it, man, it sucked. It was probably the worst day of my life behind Terry. Tough day, but we're here to celebrate because Zach was a race fan and a racer. And so the one thing, though, that I wanted to do, because end of day, I think the one that it hurts the most is Miss Avery. And so with that being said, Avery, Morgan's got something for you here. We went ahead and raised a little bit of money. So this is for you. We've got 1,031 that we raised today. So that's for you, Avery. As well as for the family, Mike's got our flag that all the drivers have signed for you guys to take home. So everybody that's participating in today's event has signed that. They're going to be a part of this pre-race ceremony. But man, like I said, it's a sad day. But at the same time, I know he's looking down on us watching this modified race. I know Doug here wants to get in that thing and wants Zach to be up front, leading this field, not just in a pace lap, but in an actual event. So. I guess all I can say is hold your loved ones tight. You never know when it's going to come. And by end of the day, we're going to have a good time. We're going to watch a badass modified race here at Florence Motor Speedway. Zach and his dad and his whole family supported us when they got the modified. They came to Myrtle. He won the Coma Unwinds modified inaugural race at Myrtle Beach Speedway. A lot of that came from his conversation wanting to have a modified event. And we pulled it off. And, these guys have flags. We've got, hopefully, I don't know if we forgot to hand them out, but we have little flags for the people in the grandstands. But these guys are going to honor him. We're going to lead the field. But right now, I'm going to ask, ladies and gentlemen, one more time, how about it just for the Brewer family? We got some more here, but how about the Brewer family? And at this time, hopefully he's ready, and I don't pass it too soon. But I'm going to send it back to the booth for driver intros, and then we're going to come out of that more with the family. So, Bob, if you're up there and you're back in place, we're going to send it to you for driver intros.
Absolutely, Steve. Thank you so much for you, your family, your staff here today for having this great event and for having the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic begin its season in 2025. And you see a great group of drivers aligned on the front stretch here, getting ready to do battle for 99 laps here today. So I think it's about time to get kick-started with the starting lineup. All the drivers are at the left front of their race cars, and we're going to meet each and every one here today. Starting in the 20th spot here today, in the number 8 machine, this driver led laps at New River All-American Speedway last year in a great effort by this team from John Michael Chenette. And remember, everybody, let's put your hands together at the conclusion of each introduction. Starting 19th on the inside of that row, a driver from Lexington, North Carolina, 2 top 10s near the end of the season for Daniel Yates in the 18. Starting 18th, he finished 8th in this race a few years ago. Driver of the number 21, the Carolina Drilling Machine for Jimmy Wallace. Starting 17th in one of the most historic racing rides in Southern Modified Racing. This kid out of Long Island, New York, in the Hillbilly Motorsports number 79, a 17-time Legends car winner at Riverhead Raceway in Long Island, New York. It's Joey Braun. Starting 16th here today, the number 48 car, a former late model hotshot in the Sunshine State of Florida. It's Johnny Keeveman. Starting 15th here today, a second-generation race car driver making his debut with the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. He'll drive that number 40. He is the son of Daytona 500 winning driver Jamie McMurray. It's Carter McMurray in the Bass Pro Shops machine. Racing families run deep in the modified community. This next driver will start 14th. He's a third-generation modified racer. His granddad and his dad's here today to support the 27 of Blake Barney from New Jersey. Starting 13th here today, a former Brickyard 400 winner in the Shitty Coolers number 2 for the Rocket Man, Ryan Newman. Starting 12th here today, a fourth-generation race car driver from the famous Myers family. He's a Racing Electronics Rookie of the Year contender out of Walnut Cove, North Carolina. In the number 4, it's Slade Myers. Starting 11th, another generational modified family. This driver, a rookie contender as well. His family comes from Long Island, New York. He now finds home in Mooresville, North Carolina. The number 7 NY for Jack Baldwin. And now let's meet your top 10 starters in today's 99-lap race. Starting 10th, the number 16. He's a former kart standout out of Oxford, North Carolina. Finished 9th in the points last year for J-Cash, Jonathan Cash. To his inside in row number 5, a 6-time winner in the Smart Modified Tour in the KevinSaysYes.com Troyer machine number 04 out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's Brandon Ward. Starting 8th, one of the fan favorites here in the lineup today. He is a 3-time champion of the Smart Modified Tour. He drives the Citrus Safe number 1 out of Walnut Cove, North Carolina for the ace, Bert Myers. Starting 7th here today, a crate modified standout, now making some noise in the big world of the tour type modified scene. It's the number 63 for Josh Lauder. Starting 6th here today, another family famous in modified racing, especially up in the Northeast. He drives the number 5 machine, and he'll start 6th here today, a former MRS champion for Chris Pastriak. To the inside, starting 5th here today. He was the Pace-O-Matic Pole Award winner, and last year he started 6th in this race. Now with Shady Grady Racing in the number 15 out of New Waverly, New York, Bryce Bailey. Starting 4th here today, a 2-time winner from 1 year ago. Driver of the SNS Racing Pace-O-Matic 7VA for the defending series champion, Luke Baldwin. Starting 3rd here today, just 14 years old, and a good-looking orange and white number 73, another New Jersey speedster. It's Paulie Hartwig the third. And now your front row for the Zach Brewer Memorial today at Florence Motor Speedway. In the Mount Airy Toyota number 99, a former late model stock car standout and a winner in the Valley Star Credit Union 300 at Martinsville Speedway, it is Jake Crum. And on the pole for today's 99-lap race, he won at Florence Motor Speedway in 2020, his first time here in a modified, former NASCAR Truck Series winner, Joey Coulter. And that is your starting grid for today's race, 20 strong in the Southern Modified world to kick off the season here in the Palmetto State of South Carolina. Steve, let's go back down to you.
All right, as the drivers are starting to get strapped into their machines, man, like I said, this is near and dear to my family's heart. My family grew up, this is what I started in, so love having the modifieds here. I love that it's, well, actually, let me rephrase. I do not love that it's a Zach Brewer Memorial, but I do love that we're here to honor him. And with that being said, I'm just going to give it a few more seconds as everyone kind of gets strapped in. The family's got one more thing we're going to do, and then the 31 is going to lead the field to checkered flags. What's going to end up happening here is the field has all been given a flag in honor of Zach. They're going to take it around. We're going to make a few pace laps with the 31 leading the field. We're going to come to checkered flag, and we're going to stop here and take the flags back and give Doug a chance to get it off the racetrack. But, man, again, a sad but happy day. It's going to be an amazing race. I know Zach always loved coming here and racing, but we're going to continue to carry on. I said this on my little podcast that I'm starting, is that someday, I don't care if it's the trophy or it's just the idea that you're here, at some point this is going to be an event that you're going to want to win. You're going to want to go home and be able to say you won the Zach Brewer Memorial. I can promise you're definitely going to want to be the one that says you won the inaugural version of it. So looking forward to it. I got my fingers crossed for one person in the field, but best friends with Zach, and he worked his tail off just to get us the 31 here, Brandon Ward in the 04, so thank you to the whole Ward family. But with that being said, it looks like I got enough that we can make some noise. Miss Avery, are you ready for this? All right, we're going to give the command to start our engines. So ladies and gentlemen, Avery, Kim, and the whole Brewer family, go for it.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
That is the sound we've been waiting all winter long to hear. 600 horsepower underneath the hoods of each and every one of these machines for the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. That beautiful 31 car at the front of this field will lead the first couple of pace laps here today before we go green with this 99-lap race. That is a former car of Zach Brewer, the man we honor here today. We lost him almost a year ago today. And Zach was a fixture in the modified community, not only because of his prowess on the racetrack, but also because of the man, the character, the personality that he was. He had a spirited personality, and he was always a lot of fun to hang out with. And that was his number 31. Ran the NASCAR Goodies Dash Series, then ran modified racing, a winner in NASCAR modified competition at Bowman Gray Stadium. And today, that number 31 car, a former Zach Brewer machine, will pace the field of 20 modifieds with the Smart Modified Tour for the Zach Brewer Memorial at Florence Motor Speedway. A big thank you to Brandon Ward on all of his hard work to get that car back to what you see here today. It was a lot of work, Brandon and Zach were good buddies. And I'm sure a lot of heart and soul went into preparing this number 31 machine as it gets ready to pace the field today in Timmonsville, South Carolina. The cars beginning to roll off, and each one of them with flags to honor Zach Brewer here today for the Smart Modified Tour season opener in 2025. Some of the best looking machines in all of motorsports in America assembled here today in the PD region of South Carolina. What we are told you're going to see is 2 laps with these flags by these racers. Many of who knew Zach Brewer personally, hung out with him, raced with him. And today they have the flag to honor Zach Brewer and the person that he was. And for those that are in the cold, maybe working through some snow in the Northeast, or maybe the upper part of the Midwest, maybe even Canada, watching here today, it's a beautiful day in this area of South Carolina. Temperatures in the 70-degree range, bright sunny skies, definitely beautiful blue skies overhead of this fabulous facility that Steve Zacharias and his staff have prepared for the Smart Modified Tour today here in this part of the country. This will be the 223rd event in the history of the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic, and for the last 3 years we have began our season at this historic facility. Lots of racing and a beautiful shot there by our drone coverage by Bryson Aerial Solutions. Bryson Aerial Solutions did a lot of help for Western North Carolina and those suffering from the wake of Hurricane Helene. And there are those flags honoring Ward here today, the number 31. Just a beautiful sight, nice to have Zach Brewer's family here today, his wife, Kimberly, his daughter, Avery, in attendance and giving the command to fire engines for these modifieds today. And there's that number 31 machine. Make sure you tell your friends and your family that modified racing in the South is about to kick off. You need to tune in to Flow Racing to see all the coverage here today of the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. And at the end of this one, you will see the Smarty Trophy being awarded to the winner of this race. It's manufactured by Jostens, the most trusted partner in celebrating moments that matter, with their mission resting on 3 simple words: capture, celebrate, inspire, just like we are doing here today in honor of Zach Brewer. This thought process has led the Smart Modified Tour to develop one of the most unique works of art in all of motorsports, the Smarty Trophy. From the same company that develops championship rings and trophies for NASCAR, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and more, Jostens helps us develop the race and championship winning hardware that truly embodies the characteristics of all modified legends, both north and south. To learn more, visit Jostens.com. That's Jostens, provider of the Smart Modified Smarty Trophy and proud sponsor of the Lap Leader Award in 2025. And now you see all of those flags honoring Zach Brewer being collected on the front stretch from all 20 competitors. Those flags will be kept. This should be an annual tradition to start the year for the Smart Modified Tour at Florence Motor Speedway. Folks, we're just a few laps away from hearing 600 horsepower of high 20 come to life here at Florence Motor Speedway. So right now, we need your help. Please, everyone in attendance, get out of your seat and get up on your feet. This will be a sight to kick off the 2025 campaign as T-shirts are thrown into the grandstands for the great fans of Southern Modified Racing. Honor the drivers and now the Smart Stars. Thank you, the best racing fans in America, with the wave lap for the Smart Modified Tour kickoff for 2025. Beautiful drone shot today for our coverage on Flow Racing. We thank you, each and every one of you. If you're not in the grandstands, we love you, man. But we also love the fact that you were watching today on Flow Racing. Joey Coulter in the Gray Ghost 02. Coulter, the winner here in 2020. Last year finished 6th in the point standings for the Smart Modified Tour. Alongside of him will be the Mount Airy Toyota machine, the Jamie and Cheryl Tomeno machine, the number 99 for Jake Crum. A little change for the conclusion of Bell Helmet stage number 1. Usually it's at the conclusion of the lap 30 mark. Today, in honor of Zach Brewer, it will be lap number 31 to honor Zach Brewer. Thank you. Coming to the 1 to go until we go green flag racing here at Florence. Front row, Coulter and Crum. Second row, 14-year-old, it's actually a pair of teenagers, 14-year-old Paulie Hartwig the third, and 17-year-old, the defending series champion in that S&S Racing Pace-O-Matic 7VA for Luke Baldwin. Baldwin won more Pace-O-Matic Pole Awards 1 year ago than anyone else. A star-studded field here today. So today, we begin a new year. It's a clean slate for 20 of the best modified drivers in the South. It's the dawning of a new era as the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic begins the 2025 season at Florence Motor Speedway. Folks, by the grace of God and 600 horsepower, we are racing in 2025 at Florence. Side by side for the lead, coming off of turn number 2 on the opening lap of this race. Coulter on the inside, Jake Crum with the advantage in that 99, charging hard on the outside. Jake Crum, 3 top 5 finishes in a part-time schedule 1 year ago on the Smart Modified Tour. He is the leader of lap number 1. Battle is for second. Baldwin on the outside of that Pace-O-Matic 7VA. Joey Coulter on the inside in that SRI Performance number 02. Good battle early in the going here at Florence Motor Speedway. Now single file among the top 5. It's Crum, Coulter, Baldwin, Hartwig, and Bryce Bailey, who won the Pace-O-Matic Pole Award today in qualifying for the Smart Modified Tour. Behind that, look at this battle right here. Josh Lauder in the number 63 gets by Burt Myers. Myers in that Pinnacle number 1, the Citrus Safe Grill Cleaners car, losing a few spots early in the going here. Brandon Ward in the KevinSaysYes.com 04 goes by, and so does Jonathan Cash, 9th in points 1 year ago in that 16 machine. This race is all about saving tires. This racetrack, definitely a little bit rough, abrasive if you will. It's like a cheese grater, and it will just shave off the rubber on these tires if you spin the tires on the corner. Yellow flag on the racetrack for the first time here today in this 99-lap race. And it's for Jimmy Wallace, a car stopped on the inside of turn number 2. So this will be a quick Caution here today. 3 laps complete of 99 at Florence Motor Speedway. We'll take a quick break on Flow Racing and come back with more racing action.
Download now.
You built this?
It was easy once I found the parts.
Looks like you need a break. The General gives you one with flexible payment options.
Look, a chemical reaction!
Oh! For a great low rate, go with the General.
Hit it again, Jen.
Smoking gave me gum disease, and I lost all my teeth. Here's my tip. You might think quitting feels like pulling teeth. Trust me, it's not even close.
You can quit. For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
We are back live on Flow Racing from Timmonsville, South Carolina, under caution for the first time in the Zach Brewer Memorial. Jimmy Wallace in the number 21 spun in turn number 2. His crew now looking at that machine, trying to figure out what went wrong for the veteran driver. The window net is down. It appears like Jimmy Wallace's day may be done. Just 3 laps complete in this one here at Florence. We thank you for joining us. Want to remind you that a little later on tonight, you can see the Cars Tour running at New River All-American Speedway, just one state above us. We're in South Carolina today. That's happening near the coast of North Carolina. You'll be able to watch the late model stock cars and pro late models in action today from New River All-American Speedway, and that'll be on Flow Racing. The Smart Modified Tour will be at New River All-American Speedway Labor Day weekend. You're not going to want to miss that. It's going to be a blast when we do the beach trip for the Smart Modified Tour. That'll be on August 29th and August 30th, a little later on this year. Next week, we'll be at Anderson, South Carolina. The Smart Modified Tour returning to action at that beautiful facility, high-banked, tight racetrack. It's like Martinsville, a little bit smaller with a lot of banking. And it's going to be a lot of fun to see these mighty modifieds whip around that racetrack in Anderson, South Carolina. All the races can be seen here on Flow Racing, and that'll be for the entire 2025 campaign. After Anderson, that's next Saturday, March 8th, we'll take a week off and then go to South Boston Speedway on Friday, March 21st, and Saturday, March 22nd, for the Pace-O-Matic King of the Modifieds. A $20,000 win-to-win show. Produced a great event last year. Luke Baldwin, who is running third early on in this race in that yellow and black machine, is the defending winner of the King of the Modifieds event. We may be early in this one, but still plenty of time to go and a lot of action that we're going to see throughout this race. Want to remind you of some of the rules for the Smart Modified Tour. These teams have one tire at their disposal, and each and every restart will be double file. You see that orange and blue cone down in turn number 4. That is the CitraSafe Grill Cleaners Choose cone. And now drivers pulling up to that. Woo, late call there by Jake Crum. Almost smacked into the CitraSafe Choose cone. We saw that happen at Caraway last year. But Crum chooses the outside and a late call to go to the outside of this restart in the front row. It's Crum over Coulter. Luke Baldwin in third. Paulie Hartwig was scored fourth. And Bryce Bailey, the Pace-O-Matic Pole Award winner here today in the 15, fifth. But now, a lot of people say the inside is the way to be around this racetrack. You have the opportunity to jump to the outside line if you want to at that Citrus Safe Choose Cone. Coming to the green soon, not just yet here. And we love having the drone with us. Definitely Old Glory blowing in the wind today. We do have a brisk day. If you see a little wiggle from the cameras here today, it is because we have a stiff wind at this facility here today. We're going green. Green flag is back out. Pace truck pulled to the infield. I think that caught the drivers by surprise. Jake Crum back out to the lead. I know it caught us by surprise a little bit. Joey Coulter in second. Battle is for fourth. Actually now from third to fifth. Luke Baldwin, Paulie Hartwig in that orange number 73, the kid out of New Jersey, just 14 years old. Winner in the Short Track Super Series Sportsman class down at All-Tech Speedway during Florida Speed Weeks. He pulls to the outside of Baldwin, gets that spot, now going after second, coming off of turn number 4. Hartwig charging hard, but will that punish his tires? That's the big question, because this track is awfully abrasive, and you can use up your tires in a hurry. Hartwig, the 14-year-old, going for the lead here in the Zach Brewer Memorial. Jake Crum on the inside. They go wheel to wheel. Paulie Hartwig, the rookie, in the lead here in the Zach Brewer Memorial at Florence. Now he's got to settle in just a little bit. Crum already looking to the inside. Hartwig charged a little too hard going into turn number 3. Got to keep it at the bottom of the racetrack. Or if he's in the middle, keep that momentum up so you don't have the 99 pull back up to you. But at the same time, you got to wonder if experience and wisdom is going to pay off here today. Drivers like Joey Coulter, Jake Crum, they have that. Paulie Hartwig, one career Smart Modified Tour start prior to this one, and that's when he was 12 years old. Yes, just a couple of years ago, and then a new rule was instituted, and he's back today, beginning his rookie campaign in 2025 for the Smart Modified Tour. A little bit further back, you see Baldwin in that yellow and black machine, Bryce Bailey in the K2 Barbecue Sauces number 15 car. Chris Pastriak named synonymous with modified racing in the Northeast at places like Stafford Motor Speedway, Thompson, and a whole lot more. Chris's dad, Charlie, with us here today. His crew from way back when also here. And we certainly miss Carl, his uncle, who was a mainstay in the Wheel and Modified Tour for so many years. There's Bryce Bailey looking to the inside of Luke Baldwin. Baldwin showing some patience in the early going. That's Shady Grady Racing number 15. Bryce Bailey starting to get a little bit impatient. Coming around this time, we will complete lap number 12. We go a little bit further back from there. And you can see all single file racing around this racetrack. Jack Baldwin has faded back. Apparent problem with the 7NY, the Rookie of the Year contender. Crate modified winner for the past couple of years, now trying his hand at a full season of the Smart Modified Tour. And Baldwin in trouble early in this race at Florence. You see the number 40 machine of Carter McMurray as well, that Bass Pro Shops car. Son of Jamie McMurray, NASCAR Cup Series commentator now on TV, but former big star in the NASCAR Cup Series. Carter comes from go-karts and Legends Car Racing last year, just 14 years old in his rookie campaign with the Smart Modifieds. Back up front, Hartwig has the lead. Jake Crum is in second. Third place still Joey Coulter. Joey says he loves this racetrack, finished in the top 5 1 year ago in the season opener here at Florence. You can see these cars glisten. There's no better looking race car in America than these modifieds. Pastriak in that good looking 5 machine, the blue race car, trapped on the outside. Jonathan Cash, 9th in points, still looking for his first career win on the Smart Modified Tour. Looking to his inside, Brandon Ward in the 0-4 just ahead. Ward running in the 6th spot. Pastriak hoping not to give up 7th as Jonathan Cash on the preferred line on the inside. Josh Louder behind that in the 63 is 9th, and Burt Myers in a new color this year for the number 1 machine, that blue and black machine, riding in 10th early in this event, just 18 laps complete. Bryce Bailey has worked to the inside of Baldwin. Is going to be able to pick up that spot. So move Bryce Bailey now up to 4th. Baldwin not giving up, but he knows the high side can punish those tires. These teams only have 1 tire at their disposal. Bailey goes high, pushes Baldwin up the track. That opens up the Red Seas for Brandon Ward. Ward by Baldwin. Ward now tackling the 15 of Bryce Bailey. Ward, the veteran maneuver right there. One mistake by Bryce Bailey, and now Ward on the attack. Ward up to 4th now. Ward and that Kevin Powell owned machine, that team doing a lot of on social as well. You got to check them out with Kevin Powell Speed Motorsports. Joey Coulter starting to look in that Gray Ghost 02. Reminds me of the old Richie Evans machine back in the day. Richie built, he's the king of the modifieds, built himself a new car, didn't have time to put the orange paint on, went racing with a gray primered car, and Richie won a lot of races. He said he wasn't going to paint that car until he lost, and it went back to the orange machine that we're comfortable and we were familiar with seeing for Richie Evans for so many years. Well, now the Gray Ghost belongs to Joey Coulter on the Smart Modified Tour, running in 3rd, but applying some pressure to the 99, that Tomeno-owned machine, driven by Jake Crum. Inching closer to the conclusion of Bell Helmet stage number 1 today at lap number 31 in honor of Zach Brewer here today in the race named after him. Hartwig in the lead, but we got to go back behind that battle for 3rd as well. Getting a little bit heated at times right up around Baldwin and Bailey and Jonathan Cash and Chris Pastriak as well. And there's that group of race car drivers here. Great work by our team on Flow Racing here today to provide all the coverage in the car. At the end of this particular pack, a big surprise earlier today to see that blue and orange machine for Ryan Newman, the Shitty Coolers machine, qualified just off here today. 13th overall. Now Ryan Newman trying to climb through the field. He's already gained 2 spots, but you see that Montrose Boulders machine running single file. I guarantee you one thing, Ryan Newman knows how to wheel a car through the field. Some side-by-side racing at the beginning of this group now as we inch our cameras closer to that battle there. Jonathan Cash went to the inside of Bryce Bailey. Baldwin already went by him, but Jonathan Cash trying to follow his S&S Racing teammate and can't do it just yet. Burt Myers, 6 races here for the 3-time champion of the Smart Modified Tour. He drives that black and blue number 1 in the top 10 right now, but at the latter half of that top 10, Burt Myers, 5 top 5 finishes. Every race he's run here, he's been in the top 5 at Florence Motor Speedway. Tight racing. Bryce Bailey maybe abused those tires a little bit. Maybe he's just trying to hold on to the conclusion of Bell Helmet stage number 1, just a couple of laps from that. Jonathan Cash goes to his inside. The battle right now for 6. Bailey on the outside, not a battle anymore. Jonathan Cash gets it, and he's bringing along Chris Pastriak out of Lisbon, Connecticut. Pastriak in that infamous blue number 5 gets the spot. Here comes Burt Myers. We go back to the lead. Jake Crum starting to apply a little bit of pressure. And now the checkered flag waves, the Bell Helmets checkered flag for the conclusion of stage number 1. The top 3 in this Bell Helmet stage number 1 get a little extra cash, as well as some bonus points go towards that championship equation. But Paulie Hartwig III, the winner of Bell Helmet stage 1 at Florence Motor Speedway. That shot high above this facility in the PD region of South Carolina. We'll take a quick break here on Flow Racing.
Wow, you built this?
It was easy once I found the parts.
Guess I just donated my car to science.
Looks like you need a break. The General gives you one with flexible payment options.
Look, a chemical reaction!
Oh!
Quick question. Does that thing have an off button? For a great low rate, go with the General.
Hit it again, Jen.
Smoking gave me gum disease, and I lost all my teeth. Here's my tip. You might think quitting feels like pulling teeth. Trust me, it's not even close.
You can quit. For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
And come back with more racing action from the Smart Modified Tour, powered by Pace-O-Matic. Florence Motor Speedway, the site of the kickoff for the 2025 campaign for the Smart Modified Tour, powered by Pace-O-Matic. Hello, everybody. I am Bob Dillner, joined alongside in the booth during this break after Bell Helmet stage number 1 today on lap number 31 to honor Zach Brewer. And its series director, Chris Williams, with us. Unbelievable event, beautiful weather here today. If people didn't come, they're missing out, because this is an unreal weather spectacle here today at Florence Motor Speedway, and we honor a great man, Zach Brewer, with this race.
Absolutely, man. It's great to have the modifieds back on the track this year. It couldn't ask for better weather, and to honor Zach Brewer that we lost a year ago, to a lot of people that's raced with him in other series in NASCAR as well as in our series. It's an honor to see the family here and get to enjoy a little bit of time of people remembering Zach.
Yeah, Kimberly and Avery here today, his wife and his daughter, and Zach, a winner in NASCAR Modified competition at Bowman Gray. He's had starts here in the Smart Modified Tour. He had a top 5 run at Caraway a couple years ago. But I think more than just a racer, Zach was a character, and a lot of people just flat out loved him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he liked to play around. He liked to horse around like most of us do. And he's a little fiery. Everybody, of course, knows I suspended him, which we've talked about that a lot this week. I mean, the thing about it, he was so gracious during the suspension is he says, I know you got to do what you got to do. He said, I know you and JB sitting there talking to me. And he said, at the end of the day, he said, I had to let them know, though, that I was upset that I just destroyed a race car. And he said, I pulled the ignition out, and he said, I made my voice, but you've made yours now, so I'm going to be out for a while.
He was an awesome individual, and I just love the family. And there's a bunch of, Zach Brewer's family here today in the tower. Steve Zacharias said, I wanted the Zach Brewer Memorial, and he made it happen here today. I want to get to a big announcement, too. We got the King of the Modifieds coming up at South Boston Speedway, now a 2-day show on Friday and Saturday, March 21st and 22nd.
Yeah, we pretty much made the decision. We've been talking about it for 2 weeks, and we down here don't like to spend a lot of money and stuff. And I know last year a lot of people came in to get their motors teched and everything, and the track, pushed a lot of things back on Saturday to accommodate them last year, and they just like, we need more time. This is becoming such a big event. We need to do some stuff on Friday. And I said, well, as long as we can get in there and kind of get the motors tech Friday by lunch, we can have a couple 45-minute practice sessions and qualify at 5, and that'll be the end of the day for Friday. So it is a big announcement. We're going to kind of put the format out there next week. But the King of the Modified is growing. A lot of sponsors coming on board. We'll announce that in the next 2 weeks, and it's getting bigger and better.
So we're looking forward to the King of the Modifieds at South Boston Speedway. We have the CitraSafe Grill Cleaners Choose Cone coming out in turn number 4. But before I let you go, the youth has gone wild in the Smart Modified Tour this year. We got 6 rookies possibly going to run the full season. Just what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I really think that Smart Modified is becoming a platform. There's kind of a gap between that 12 to 16 year age coming out of Legends and other things, and they're looking at the Cars Tour, they're looking at us, and the weather down here is really nice. They have a lot of technology at their fingertips down here with the racing world, and the young youth has come in, and we love especially what's going on. Carter McMurray, being in a modified, coming from his championships that he's done. I know we're getting ready to go back green. We're going to continue to talk a little bit, but I'm really happy to see these youngsters showing their talent, and they have a lot of talent.
They definitely do. We're going to bring the field to the green flag, this time by Paulie Hartwig. On the point, Jake Crum, the veteran of late model stock car wars, now a modified guy on the front row for this restart after 31 laps. Back to green here for the Smart Modified Tour and the Zach Brewer Memorial. Jake Crum able to get that point. Brandon Ward has now moved up to 3rd here. Joey Coulter back to 4th with Luke Baldwin in 5th. Early in this going, Paulie Hartwig, 14 years old, showing his strength.
Yeah, he definitely wanted to come out, and if you notice, as soon as he took the lead, he kind of backed her down about a quarter of a throttle, and I think that's a few people's strategy up till lap 45 or so, trying to save as much tire till it's go time. And I heard a few people, the youngsters especially, leaning on a lot of the drivers here, as well as a few of them said they talked to Carson Lofton about what the tendencies are in this race. And so, I mean, you're going to see the muscle here in a minute. I think right now they're positioning themselves for the end of the race, as we've seen in the past with Hirschman and a few people that's won this thing, Lofton in the past. They're going to wait probably 60 laps to go, and after that, it's if they get a chance to change that tire or turn the lefts, they're going to do it. But right now, it's all about positioning, and the next 20 laps, that's where it's at.
And right now, I'm watching Ryan Newman's in that 2 machine pass a few people. Just went by Josh Lauder as well as Bryce Bailey. So Ryan Newman starting to come back to the front after a poor qualifying effort. Ryan Newman now up to 9th, and Newman just loves himself some Smart Modified Tour racing.
Yeah, he's good. Anytime he gets behind the wheel, he has a lot of talent. He's driven pretty much anything, but he loves the modifieds. And you talk to a lot of guys that jump down in this series and get the opportunity to drive the modifieds, and they said they can see it all work, and then you can feel it, and so then they get in touch with it, in tune with it, and it becomes what they want to do. It's a man's race car, and could be a female's too. We're waiting on that to happen here before long, but it's sexy.
So Brandon Ward moves into 2nd here in the 04 machine, the Kevin Says Yes.com machine. Hartwig is back to 3rd. Chris, before I let you go, because I know you got a lot of duties here, we're looking forward to next week's race as well in Anderson, South Carolina, a return to smart racing.
We got a spin here.
We got Bryce Bailey. See, you make the cardinal sin. Don't call it until it's on the TV screen. You're showing the official.
Well, I'm director seat, so I got to see it before everybody else, man. I'm sorry. I seen the tire going down, and I was like, oh, that's a flat tire.
Many TV directors would be like all over you
look,
right now.
You can be mad at me, but I'm directing from up
That's
here.
right.
I got to get it to the driver's hands to slow it down before they get there.
Hey, before I let you go, though, Anderson, South Carolina next week. Looking forward to going back with the Smart Mods. First time in a long time to that high bank, tight racetrack.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's kind of in Pace-O-Matic's backyard, the greatest sponsor there is for us, especially love Mike and Carmen and all those guys. And they watch every week, Alan Joseph. And, of course, they're just a great company, and they try to do so much for small businesses and stuff of that nature. And, look, I'm a small business, and, they keep us thriving. I love them a lot. We have a good time together, and, we try to put on a showcase for them. But it's their backyard, and Anderson's going to be fun for us. To get looking at the 15, get going finally, and it's going to be fun for us to go down there and go to a new track. Childress and them, Scott Childress and them's done a really good job of communicating how we want to do it. We're going to be in the Sunshine State one more time, not Florida. but you know what I'm saying, in the
Sun in the
sunshine.
Palmetto State, yes.
And so we're looking forward to it, and you know, I like going to new tracks. I mean, we try to, you know, jump around a little bit, give everybody an opportunity to come see these powerful machines and put on the show that they do. And I'm really looking forward to going down there next week. Hope the weather holds off. You know, 7-day forecast, you never know, right? So.
Well, hey, I saw you. You were business earlier, and we love the hard work that you and everybody puts into this series. But are you smiling yet? You told me you weren't going to smile until they got started.
Yeah, look, the first race, there's so much going on, and there's so many moving parts, and making sure that some of the new rules we have in play, and you know, our tech stuff's on point, because you know that's credibility, and you know, making sure all the sponsor stuff's in play, and making sure you got all the signage and stuff where you need it to be. And so it's all business until the race kind of gets going, and now it's all about the competition side of it. It's going extremely well right now, and I know it's going to heat up here in the back half of this thing. But, you know, look, I'm always smiling them up at the racetrack, so that's a good thing. You know, it's good to be back.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the broadcast. We're going to try to get maybe Ryan Newman on the Racing Electronics race communication here in a second. Meanwhile, Bryce Bailey spins, had a tire go down, and I don't know if there was contact as well, but as you can see, right side of that race car, the Hoosier is off the right side tires. So Bryce Bailey with Shady Grady Racing trouble early in this race. Let's go to Ryan Newman with the Racing Electronics race communication. Ryan, I've been listening to you guys on the radio talk about a lot of what you need to do and what this car is doing. What can you tell the fans on Flow Racing right now?
Well, we just struggled a little bit for overall grip and qualifying and got ourselves back here. And everybody's kind of in a conservation mode where we're just kind of ramping up. You know, we're getting close to 100% here after that stage break. So we're just trying to work on a little bit on our plan and strategy, but we don't know when the caution's going to fly. So we're just, you know, trying to make plans for Plan A and Plan B on what the caution is going to be and what we need to do to our race car to get this shitty cooler car up front.
So put me in the driver's seat right now. What is it like running a modified around this track with the abrasive pavement at Florence?
You just got to use the old eggshell or egg on the throttle pedal feeling, where you just got to really conserve your tires, you know, on the power down side and even on the braking side. But always easier said than done to do all that and then keep the guy behind you, and still pass the guy in front of you at some point later in the race.
And I'm going to act like your spotter right now. We're still under yellow flag. I just want to ask you about your daughter, Brooklyn, running the crate mod here today. How proud are you of her and what she's already been able to do?
Well, she's done a great job to get to where we are. She's got 62 laps to just kind of work her way forward. I think the race and the racetrack will hopefully just knowing that she's not very aggressive right now. She's just timid because she's a rookie. So, you know, hopefully come, you know, last 10 laps, she's in a much better spot than she is at the start of the race. But she's done a great job, and look forward to watching her grow and develop as a driver this year.
All right, Ryan, we're coming to 1 to go, and I just want to wish you the best of luck for the rest of the race.
Thank you, Bob.
Gotta love talking to drivers right in the middle of the game. I got some of my App State students here. They don't get the opportunity to talk to the App State baseball team right in the middle of the game, and we have that opportunity with the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. So it's just awesome insight to get in the mind of somebody like Ryan Newman, to hear what he has to say about his race car and his strategy throughout the entire race. And thank you to Racing Electronics, the leader in race communication, for all they do for our broadcast on Flow Racing and for the Smart Modified Tour. So we're coming to the green this time by. Gonna have to raise these blinds at some point here. Hard to see through them sometimes because I'm so darn tall. But the front row occupied by Brandon Ward in the 04 and Jake Crum in the 99. Second row, Paulie Hartwig in the orange 73 and the 02 of Joey Coulter. They fire once again here at Florence. Crum uses that outside line just like he has done on a couple of different restarts to get that momentum to propel him back into the lead. Brandon Ward in second. Joey Coulter back up to third. Battle for fourth. Hartwig on the inside. Luke Baldwin on the outside in the 7 V8 Pace-O-Matic machine. I know Bill Stanley and Hermie Sadler, the owners of Luke Baldwin's car, watching here today. We appreciate their support and all they've done for the Smart Modified Tour. Bill is a huge fan, and we love seeing him when he gets to come to the racetrack. Baldwin moves up a spot. He's up to fourth. Hartwig under fire for fifth. Burt Myers is there, the double box. You see the top two on the left side of the screen. On the right side, you see Burt Myers in that pinnacle number 1 to the outside of Hartwig in the 73. Burt Myers, we mentioned his consistency here today. 6 races at Florence, all top 5 runs, but Burt Myers reminded us when we talked to him, he's never won, and that bothers him. He wants to get the victory here today. A runner-up 1 year ago in this race is the driver of the black and blue number 1. And by the way, interesting story with that machine. I said, where'd you ever come up with the blue? He goes, I was watching Thursday night football, watching that NFL game. It was the Detroit Lions. They had the special helmet with the electric blue and also the black. That's the exact blue that the Detroit Lions used during that game on that Thursday night football program. And Burt Myers loves himself some football and basketball. He roots for the wrong team in Duke, but we won't mention that. Brandon Ward, trouble for the 0-4, running in second and now slowing down in turn number 3. A big change in the complexion of this race with Brandon Ward slowing on the racetrack. Ward going to be able to make his way to pit road, so we will stay green. 45 laps into this one here today for the Smart Modified Tour. So a bad break for Brandon Ward. See if we can go to the double box here and show Brandon Ward and what his team is doing on pit road while we continue to watch this race as well. Jake Crum in the 99, and there is Brandon Ward's machine. Something underneath the rear end of that race car. A problem as that car was not under power coming to pit road. Bad day for that team with the Q104.1 and iHeartRadio 04. Joey Coulter starting to apply some pressure on the leader. Coulter said, man, I never had driven a modified in a race before coming to Florence Motor Speedway in 2020. He came here, fell in love with the cars and this racetrack and won the race. Talk about a lover of modified racing or any racing in general. It's that kid, the 14-year-old in the 73, just getting a little tap by Jonathan Cash, and then Chris Pastriak getting in the back of the 16 as well. Halfway through this race, this time by for all the competitors. And as I say that, the yellow flag does come out. We got a car stopped in turn number 3, right at the halfway point. And it's for Rookie of the Year contender Jack Baldwin, son of Tommy Baldwin, Daytona 500 winning crew chief. And on the hood of that car, you'll still see the Tiger in honor of Jack's granddad, the Tiger, Tom Baldwin, a modified legend, winner all over America in modified racing, but trouble in the initial race of the season for Jack Baldwin.
Not so fast. The general's coming with you.
Mom.
He gave us a break on our car insurance, and he'll look after you, too.
Yep, with flexible payment options.
Okay, but why is Shaq coming too?
To show you how it's done.
For a great low rate, go with the General.
Smoking gave me gum disease, and I lost all my teeth. Here's my tip. You might think quitting feels like pulling teeth. Trust me, it's not even close.
You can quit. For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Baldwin. So how about we go through the top 10 here. Jake Crum, part-time competitor in the Smart Modified Tour the last couple of years in that 99. Leads this race. Second, Joey Coulter in the Rum Runner Racing ride. Coulter, former NASCAR Truck Series winner, being patient in that second spot. So there is Coulter behind the wheel of that Bilstein Shocks machine. Torch Eyewear, a Molecule also on the side of that race car. Behind him is the third place running Luke Baldwin. 2 wins on the Smart Modified Tour, the championship last year. Pace-O-Matic on the side of that race car. Baldwin running 3 different modified series in America this year. Not only the Smart Modified Tour, but almost a complete season on the NASCAR Wheel Modified Tour, as well as the Tri-Track Series, and doing that in a few different rides as well. This ride with Sadler Stanley Racing. Behind Luke Baldwin is that potent Citrus Safe Grill Cleaners Pinnacle number 1. For Burt Myers.
Not so fast. The general's coming with you.
Mom.
He gave us a break on our car insurance, and he'll look after you too.
Yep, with flexible payment options.
Okay, but why is Shaq coming too?
To show you how it's done.
For a great low rate, go with the General.
Myers, such a force within the Southern Modified Racing realm. All those championships in NASCAR Modified competition, competing with the likes of Tim Brown and so many others at Bowman Gray Stadium. That season doesn't start until the 3rd week of April, and you can see all the racing from Bowman Gray Stadium on Flow Racing throughout the year. Burt Myers, man, 97 career wins at Bowman Gray, 19 on the NASCAR Wheel and Southern Modified Tour, 12 on the Smart Series as well. Behind him, that wealth of experience for Burt Myers, to a green racer in Paulie Hartwig III. We saw his dad talk about how he's semi-retiring from racing and giving his son the opportunity to go racing in that Jersey Shore 73, and that's a good-looking ride. I love orange race cars, and that one looks bad fast here today. Paulie Hartwig right now running in 5th. Jonathan Cash has been beaten on the back bumper. You see the back tin work on the 73 kind of mangled up a little bit, maybe from the front bumper of the 16 for that Pace-O-Matic car of Jonathan Cash. Cash came close to a victory at Carteret County Speedway Labor Day weekend last year. Cash has won everything in karting racing across America and has got a great opportunity thanks to Bill Stanley and Hermie Sadler, and he's making the most of that opportunity. Riding in the 7th spot is the number 5 of Chris Pastriak. Pastriak, his dad, Charlie, here today working on this race car. Saw him tuning that carburetor early on today. Probably got to detune the carburetor because you can't use all the horsepower with the abrasive surface at Florence Motor Speedway. But nice to see this Connecticut racer come down to the sun and the warm weather out of the Northeast and to the south here in the Palmetto State here today and having himself a good ride. Up to 8th now. We spoke to him a little while ago in that Capital Automotive Group. Number 2 machine, Flow Racing, doing some work with Ryan Newman, and we'll talk to him throughout the season in this Shitty Coolers number 2 ride with Randy Renfro tuning in on this race car. 9th place in this order right now is the 63 of Josh Lauder. He and his dad both run. His dad running the crate modified race here today at Florence Motor Speedway. His son's going to be running some crate modified racing this year as well. Already won one during Florida Speed Week, so the apple didn't fall far from the tree. Josh Lauder always quick no matter what he runs. Behind him, and I'd like to say in the top 10, he rounds out our top 10, the number 4 machine for Rookie of the Year competitor, Slate Myers. Slate Myers, 16 years old right now, ran for Rookie of the Year in the NASCAR Modified competition 1 year ago at Bowman Gray Stadium around a football field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. That Bryson Brothers Aerial Solutions machine does a lot of work with people that have suffered so much around Hurricane Helene in western North Carolina to give them an opportunity to look at the infrastructure, homes, roads, and so much more. Bryson Brothers Aerial Services also powering our coverage with Citrus Safe Grill Cleaners and Carolina Drilling here today. Speaking of Citrus Safe, there's the choose cone again. We'll see if Jake Crum in the 99 takes that outside groove, which he has done on most of the restarts so far. He makes it dramatic for us, almost clobbering the Citrus Safe Grill Cleaner, and we thank you to everyone who's listening today on Flow Racing. We'll pay some bills a little bit later on here today. I know Matt Smith probably saying, hey, we got to get to commercial. But I really want to walk our way through the competitors in the field. And I want to go back to the 15, that red and white car for Shady Grady Racing. And there goes the Citrus Safe Grill Cleaners choose cone. It is down. It's got to go back to the fab shop. Debris all over the racetrack as it was clobbered once again, just like at Caraway last year by Michael Rich. And there you see the officials going to tend to that and pick up the debris in turn number 4. But Chris Williams has got himself a bill again. That Citrus Safe choose cone going to have to go back to the fab shop once again. Maybe it's an announcer jinx. We mentioned it, and it happened. Going to steer these competitors. The debris is on the middle of the racetrack. So double file we go, but cleaning up that Citrus Safe choose cone. We'll get word from our race director, David Hoots, on where we're going to do that now and how we're going to do that. Maybe across the white stripe in turn number 4. They're figuring that out right now, but the Citrus Safe choose cone is down. Tell you what, let's take a quick break on Flow Racing for 60 seconds, and we'll come back with more racing action.
You built this?
It was easy once I found the parts.
Looks like you need a break. The General gives you one with flexible payment options.
Look, a chemical reaction!
Oh! For a great low rate, go with the General.
Hit it again, Jen.
I was diagnosed with throat cancer from smoking while my kids were very young. I still wanted to do all the same stuff that my dad did with me, like taking my kids fishing. So I take the pole in one hand and the reel in the other. I still haven't figured out how to have a conversation and fish at the same time.
You can quit. For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
And there, we should probably play taps right now because the Citrus Safe choose cone is no longer. We've lost it for today's race. We'll still do the choose cone, probably coming off of turn number 4 someplace. And we are 1 lap until we go green flag racing once again at lap 49 of 99 here today at Florence Motor Speedway. I want to say thank you to all of our sponsors for the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic, and we got plenty, including Citrus Safe, that non-toxic biodegradable grill cleaner. You can pick it up at Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart. I use it on my grills. It's the best grill cleaner in the world. Be sure to check them out for all your grill cleaning needs on the web at citrussafe.com. That's Citrus Safe, proud sponsor of now the defunct Smart Modified Tour choose cone. If it's race season, it's grilling season, and it's time to go back to green here at Florence Motor Speedway. My, oh my. Next caution, we'll try to get some more race communication with some of our drivers. Back to green here at Florence. And Burt Myers misses a shift on that inside row. Really slowed up everybody. Jonathan Cash able to capitalize on that outside groove. Cash up to 4th now. And there's Chris Pastriak in 5th. Myers trying to fight back, but battle for the lead. Side by side, Joey Coulter on the inside, Jake Crum on the outside. Crum able to use that momentum on the outside here, trying to preserve his tires. That egg underneath the throttle pedal. Ryan Newman spoke about that during one of the caution periods when we had him on the radio. These drivers still have not come down pit road for the one tire they can take. Myers trying to regain some positions. He goes by Chris Pastriak in the 5, so Myers does move back up a spot. He's in the 5th spot with Pastriak in 6th, 7th. Paulie Hartwig. Bryce Bailey back up to 8th in the 15. 9th is Ryan Newman, and 10th, Daniel Yates in that Yates Grading Services number 18. By the way, I want to give a shout out. I know he's listening here today. JB, Jeff Bunton, we miss him here today, but certainly know you're enjoying the coverage here today. You and Whitney and the girls, we miss you. We hope to see you back at the racetrack here real soon to come out of your semi-retirement. Just got to get that little dig in there for you, buddy. I love you. Anyway, Jake Crum out front here. New ride for him this year. He was in the French number 12 the past couple of seasons. Now in another black race car, the number 99 for Jamie and Cheryl Tomeno. Jamie Tomeno, former NASCAR Wheel of Modified Tour champion. The Jet, as they called him. Grew up around Wall Stadium, New Egypt Speedway in New Jersey. New Egypt before it moved to dirt, but they still race every Saturday night, spring, summer, and fall, leading up to the Turkey Derby at Wall Stadium in Belmar, New Jersey, each and every year. And I remember watching Jamie Tomeno in that Howard Harvey orange number 09 back in the day, wheel his modified around that third of a mile oval. And now his car leads this race, the Zach Brewer Memorial, here past the halfway point. A little further back, Bryce Bailey in the 15, that Shady Grady Racing ride. He's in 7th. It's Hartwig in 8th, Newman in 9th. 10th under fire right now is Daniel Yates, a little wrap on the back bumper from Slate Myers in the number 4. Myers goes by. Slate Myers, the teenager, back to 10th. Josh Lauder has lost a bunch of spots as well in the red and black, number 63. John Michael Chenette in the black, number 8, trying to pick up some spots as well. He's 12th, going for 11th. Jack Baldwin had a mishap early, back out on the racetrack. Jack Baldwin currently being scored in the 14th spot, now 13th if he moves by the 63. Chenette gets the spot on Daniel Yates. And by the way, Ryan Newman has moved up back a couple spots in that 2 machine. They don't have that ride right here today. John Michael Chenette banging on the back bumper of Ryan Newman. Chenette now battling for 10th with Ryan Newman. Here comes Jack Baldwin. Look at him rocket to the outside of the number 8 machine. So whatever was awry on the 7NY has now been fixed, and he's got a very fast race car. When will these drivers stop? We are now at lap 61 completed. On the left side of your screen on our Flow Racing broadcast, it's Jake Crum, the leaders of this race. First and second. Joey Coulter rides in second. Back a little bit further on the right side, Jack Baldwin in the white 7NY, applying some pressure to Paulie Hartwig. Hartwig in 9th, Baldwin in 10th. Now being scored in 10th is Hartwig as the scoring changes. Jack Baldwin able to take over that spot. Daniel Yates moving by. Listen, Paulie Hartwig did a great job at the beginning of this race, charging to the front, leading laps. But I believe that he punished his tires, and he's paying the price just a little bit. Joey Braun, by the way, in that Hillbilly Motorsports car, one of the 6 rookies in the field here today. Joey, kid out of Long Island, ran some great races there last year. Also ran a tour-type modified race there, but Braun in the Hillbilly Motorsports ride, a Rookie of the Year contender this year, and that immaculate number 79. Brand new car, by the way, the Hillbilly Motorsports. Mount Airy Toyota, the sponsor on the side of the 99 for Jake Crum. Molecule, by the way, sponsor on the 02 Molecule, a cleaner that a lot of these teams use to clean their vehicles, but also clean and protect their driver suits. That Nomex material as well. Check out Molecule, a supporter of Joey Coulter and this ride for him on the Smart Modified Tour. By the way, I got to get myself some Torch eyewear. They look pretty cool on Joey Coulter. I don't know if they look as cool on me, but Torch eyewear, you got to check that out as well, as Joey Coulter has been a regular, a fixture on the Smart Modified Tour the past couple of years. He's right there glued to the back bumper of the 99, and look at who's coming into the fray. The 7VA for Sadler Stanley Racing. That Pace-O-Matic machine for Luke Baldwin is there. Baldwin, top 5 in this race. His first in the Tour Type Modified. His first with the Smart Modified Tour last year, and he finished in the top 5. Coulter about to make the move. Here goes Joey Coulter on the inside in the Gray Ghost. He gets the top spot from the 99 of Jake Crum. Now Joey Coulter has his sights set on his checkered flag. Here today at Florence Motor Speedway, it would be his second win in his career at this Timmonsville, South Carolina racetrack. Jake Crum trying to conserve those tires. Knows if he can stay in the top 3, he's got a shot here today. When will the caution flag fly? Will it fly here today? Was it a mistake not to pit earlier during one of the caution flags to get that right rear? You could be zooming to the front right now, but you never know what's going to happen at the end of this race. Coulter is your leader. Second place is Jake Crum. Third is Luke Baldwin. Coulter all alone right there. And look at who he is about to lap down here. Right in front of him is his teammate, the number 2 machine for Ryan Newman, not having a good run. He talked about it during that race communication. During one of the cautions, said they got it wrong for qualifying. Newman, little wiggle coming off the corner. He gives way to Coulter to allow him to get by Ryan Newman, now a lap down, one of the championship contenders in the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. Jordan Luker with us on the broadcast as well. Jordan, an App State student, first modified race. You've been an aficionado of racing for a long time, but what do you like about these modifieds at Florence today?
Well, I wouldn't call myself an aficionado. Don't give me too much credit on there, but I would think definitely, I mean, this is racing right here. You know, I've been to NASCAR races at IRP, and I've been to NASCAR races at the Brickyard as well as the Indy 500, but this is real racing right here, bumping and banging against each other.
A lot of fun here today. You see some movers and shakers right there. One of the people going a little bit further back, Chris Pastriak in that blue number 5. Yates, Braun in the 79, just moved by him. So Braun having a good run. He had clutch problems earlier on today in practice, and now Joey starting to move his way through the field. Joey Braun's going to be a force to be reckoned with this year on the Smart Modified Tour. He's up to 9th right now in that brightly colored race car for Hillbilly Motorsports.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch both of these cars. You see just the difference in cars. One of them, they'll come up to the front and then come up to the back, and seeing the battle right now between these two. He's trying to get by him, just can't really right now. He's definitely got it solved on that clutch problem, however.
Yeah, Braun in that 79 car moves up a spot, so now put him in the 8th slot here in this race. 77 laps into this race, approaching 20 to go. Still plenty of time to have a caution. With 10 laps to go, they'd still come down, I'm sure, and change tires, but Joey Coulter is so impressive here today.
Yeah, what a move here by Joey Coulter coming in today, and we saw a little bit, just some cars move back. We saw Ryan Newman move back earlier. We saw the leader earlier move back as well, and then now Joey Coulter has been able to take advantage. The Gray Ghost taking advantage of the situation, able to take first place now away from cars who have struggled on that tires, as you mentioned, Bob.
Joey Coulter, by the way, moved by the 73 of Paulie Hartwig. Hartwig led this race earlier. Luke Baldwin now in second. Baldwin trying to pull up to the back bumper of Joey Coulter. Under 20 to go in this one now. Coulter setting the pace. Jake Crum has fallen to 3rd. And by the way, if we can get our Flow Racing cameras on this, an impressive day here today for so many drivers. But as I look a little bit further back in the field, the driver in 4th right now is the number 4 car, the rookie Slate Myers. This is the Citrus Safe Grill Cleaners Carolina Drilling aerial coverage, and there is Slate Myers, just 16 years old, running in the Smart Modified Tour full-time for the first time ever. Ran a couple of shows last year to get his feet wet, and now applying some pressure to Jake Crum for the 3rd spot. Here goes Slate Myers, 4th generation race car driver, up to 3rd in the Zach Brewer Memorial.
What a move there by the young gun taking it on. He was in 10th, it seemed like, Bob, just 15 laps ago.
Incredible move by Slate Myers. By the way, just to give you some perspective, Burt Myers a little bit further back in this field, currently running 12th. So son outshining dad here today at Florence Motor Speedway. Everybody wondering if there is going to be a caution flag. Joey Braun now up to 5th in the 79. Holy moly. Incredible run for him. John Michael Chanette in 6th. Daniel Yates in 7th. Blake Barney in 8th. 9th is Jonathan Cash. And Carter McMurray currently being scored in the 10th spot. That is according to Race Monitor here today. You can tell kind of the calm before the storm, possibly. If we get that caution, this will be an altogether new ball game. But will it happen? Will we ride to the finish here today at Florence Motor Speedway with the Smart Modified Tour? Coulter now being closed in on by the 7VA of Luke Baldwin. Baldwin almost to the back bumper of the Gray Ghost. 10 to go here at Florence Motor Speedway for the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. Coulter's got the lead. Baldwin wants it, and he's approaching to challenge Coulter for the lead in the waning stages of the kickoff for the 2025 season. Third place, Slate Myers, way back in this one. Fourth place, Jake Crum holding on with that worn rubber here today. Fifth place, Joey Braun. What a run for him after the clutch trouble in practice. Baldwin is there. Baldwin right there. They were going around Burt Myers, and now Baldwin just about, a quarter car length behind Joey Coulter. The big question, where will Luke Baldwin attack, and will he use the front bumper, the old chrome horn here in modified racing?
Yeah, well, you got to wait. It's not a matter of if, but when. You only got a few more laps here, Bob, and I think it's Baldwin going to use the bumper here on Joey Coulter to move ahead here. He's done it in the past.
Joey Coulter, a two-time winner on the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. There is Jonathan Cash. Cash going down a lap, being scored in 11th right now. Teammate to Luke Baldwin, who's in 2nd. He gave him some room. Didn't make it easy, but gave him some room. And that's the good teammate that Jonathan Cash has. I'm sure Luke Baldwin would have wanted him to have slowed up Joey Coulter even more. Baldwin is there, but being there and getting by the 0-2, and he did something off of turn number 2 that did not interact with his momentum and slowed him up just a little bit. He lost some ground on Joey Coulter. All eyes peeled on the top 2. No other battles really on the racetrack right now. I say that, and Joey Braun going after Jake Crum for 4th. So Braun trying to pick up another position. Some separation now in between Joey Coulter and Luke Baldwin. There's Luke Baldwin's brother Jack right in front of Joey Coulter going into turn number 3. 2 laps to go here at Florence. Jack Baldwin, the jam car just a little bit. Opens up the door on the inside for Joey Coulter. Jack Baldwin's brother Luke Baldwin is there. Coulter still sets pace. Baldwin's there, a wrap to the back end, and around goes Joey Coulter. Coulter the leader, no more, here in the Zach Brewer Memorial, off the front bumper of Luke Baldwin. Jack Baldwin slowed up Joey Coulter ever so slightly, gave him the inside groove. Coulter goes by, but that allowed Luke Baldwin to get to the back bumper of Joey Coulter, and now a dilemma. Contact was made. You got to wonder, as smart officials taking a look at this right now. Smart officials reviewing this right now, figuring out how we're going to get back to green flag racing and who is going to be where. But Joey Coulter stopped on the inside of turn number 4, a dramatic conclusion to the season opener for the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. And you got to think that Joey Coulter is just steaming inside of that race car right now. No matter whether it was his fault or Luke Baldwin's fault, as a leader of the race, you always think it's somebody else's fault. And right now, you got to think that Coulter is pretty doggone mad inside the cockpit of that race car. The call has been made. Luke Baldwin will go to the rear of the field here today in the Zach Brewer Memorial. After the contact from the front bumper of the 7 to the back bumper of the 02, Luke Baldwin penalized. He will have to restart at the rear of the field. Joey Coulter, who was the leader prior to that contact, still stopped on the bottom side of turn number 4. So the contact by Luke Baldwin results in him being placed at the rear of the field in that S&S racing ride. Joey Coulter in turn number 4. David Hoots, the race director, making that call for the Smart Modified Tour. And here's what's interesting, and I know everybody at home that's watching Flow Racing, just got to be honest, we do not have a replay to show you on the broadcast here today. However, as we called it live with our Flow Racing cameras, what we can say is there was contact from the front bumper of the 7VA of Luke Baldwin to the back bumper of Joey Coulter. In my honest opinion, I did not think it was going to be enough to send the 02 around. But you got to consider these drivers like Joey Coulter on older tires right now, dancing around this very slippery and abrasive racetrack. Sometimes all it takes is a little love tap, and that's what it was down in turn number 3 to send the 02 around here late in the Zach Brewer Memorial. Wow. Lots of drama at the end of this one here at Florence Motor Speedway. Let's take a quick break on Flow Racing. We'll be back with the conclusion of this one at Florence.
My name is Roosevelt. I always thought that cigarette smoking just messed up your lungs. I never thought that at only 45 would give me a heart attack. I never thought that it would stop me from playing basketball with my kids. Never thought that it would give me a scar like this. And I never thought that it would change my life forever. My tip is, do your heart a favor and quit now.
You can quit. For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Stuck at the DMV, and I think I'm late on my car insurance.
Good thing the General gives you a break with flexible payment options.
Let's get you a break while you wait.
What is this place?
This is our TMVIP.
Vending machine charcuterie.
Ooh.
For a great low rate, go with the General. You built this?
It was easy once I found the parts.
Guess I just donated my car to science.
Looks like you need a break. The General gives you one with flexible payment options.
Look, a chemical reaction!
Oh!
Quick question. Does that thing have an off button? For a great low rate, go with the General.
Hit it again, Jen.
My name is Roosevelt. I always thought that cigarette smoking just messed up your lungs. I never thought that at only 45 would give me a heart attack. I never thought that it would stop me from playing basketball with my kids. Never thought that it would give me a scar like this. And I never thought that it would change my life forever. My tip is, do your heart a favor and quit now.
You can quit. For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Just a couple of laps left in this one for the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. Unbelievable happenings right now. The top two battling on the racetrack. Joey Coulter was leading, Luke Baldwin second. Baldwin with some contact on the back end of Joey Coulter. Coulter went around, and smart officials put the 7 VA of Luke Baldwin, last year's champion, to the back of the field. This is what we thought was going to happen. A lot of people coming down pit road right now, even with just a few laps left in this one, 3 laps to go. People coming to take on that right rear tire. Remember, all these teams, that's all they have, is one tire. Jake Crum, who is up front. Slate Myers, who is actually leading the race after that mishap in turns 3 and 4, is on pit road. Could you imagine if Slate Myers could pull off this victory here today? All of Walnut Cove, North Carolina, and Bowman Gray Stadium would go crazy. Whether you like the Myers family or not, and there are both at Bowman Gray Stadium and all those wonderful fans right there, people would be going mad here today if he were able to win this one. So, we're still trying to sort things out. I believe that Joey Braun is in the lead. And we're going to try to clarify that here. So we just clarified this. Blake Barney is the leader of this race in the 27. The hot shot out of New Jersey, winner at Wall Stadium, hoping to compete part-time this year with a Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. Second place is Joey Braun in the Hillbilly number 79, making his first start with the series. He's only run 2 Tour-type modified races at Riverhead Raceway in Long Island, New York. By the way, Riverhead Raceway celebrating its 75th season this year. Cannot wait. I'm going to probably be going back up there for the first time in 20 years. That was my home track, back being part of the old Long Island Racing Group. And looking forward to that. But Joey Braun is in that second spot. Still sorting things out here before we go back to green at Florence Motor Speedway.
Wow, you built this?
It was easy once I found the parts.
Guess I just donated my car to science.
Looks like you need a break. The General gives you one with flexible payment options.
Look, a chemical reaction!
Oh!
Quick question. Does that thing have an off button? For a great low rate, go with the General.
Hit it again, Jen.
I used to smoke when I felt sad or down. I worried about how quitting smoking might affect my mood. But since I quit, I feel so much happier. My tip is, there is life after cigarettes, and it may be better than you ever thought it could be.
You can quit. For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
So as we sort through things here for scoring to make sure everything is right prior to coming back to the restart, what we are told is the 27 of Blake Barney is your leader. Second place is Joey Braun in the 79. Third is Carter McMurray in the Bass Pro Shops number 40. Fourth is the 18, the Yates Grading and Paving car for Daniel Yates. The number 8 car of John Michael Chanette would round out the top 5 at this stage of the game. Slate Myers is now 6th, the first car that pitted and took that right rear tire. 7th is Jake Crum in the 99. As we look a little bit further through this field, we believe it's Jonathan Cash next. Jonathan Cash would be running in the 8th spot. Luke Baldwin in 9th. Nope, they're going to change that order right now. So we're going to just let them sort through things and make sure that this is right. Jonathan Cash in the number 16, the free pass car during this caution period. So he will be back on the lead lap and starting near the rear of the field.
Okay, ready? One more. 1, 2, and 3. Cute. Not so fast. The General's coming with you.
Mom.
He gave us a break on our car insurance, and he'll look after you, too.
Yep, with flexible payment options for new drivers.
Okay, but why is Shaq coming too?
To show you.
For a great low rate, go with the General.
Smoking gave me gum disease, and I lost all my teeth. Here's my tip. You might think quitting feels like pulling teeth. Trust me, it's not even close.
You can quit. For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
He doesn't. The cycle of a long green flag run as well as pit stops have allowed now the Smart Modified Tour officials to try to figure this out. Obviously, a lot of people vying for positions and so forth, but the officials now going to straighten this out because that is the lay of the law, basically, the lay of the land here. So right now, the officials getting all the cars in order as they should be, and our CitraSafe grill cleaners. Carolina Drilling Drone was giving us a great shot right there. We're back to our top camera. And there you see the cars getting sorted out. Here's what we'll do. Matt Smith, our producer, let's take a quick 60-second break and we'll come back and get this.
Okay, ready? One more. 1, 2, and 3. Cute. Not so fast. The general's coming with you.
Mom.
He gave us a break on our car insurance, and he'll look after you, too.
Yep, with flexible payment options for new drivers.
Okay, but why is Shaq coming too?
To show you.
For a great low rate, go with the General.
I was diagnosed with throat cancer from smoking while my kids were very young. I still wanted to do all the same stuff that my dad did with me, like taking my kids fishing. So I take the pole in one hand and the reel in the other. I still haven't figured out how to have a conversation and fish at the same time.
You can quit. For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
All sorted out. Come back for the finish here at Florence.
Not so fast. The general's coming with you.
Mom.
He gave us a break on our car insurance, and he'll look after you, too.
Yep, with flexible payment options.
Okay, but why is Shaq coming too?
To show you how it's done.
For a great low rate, go with the General.
My name is Roosevelt. I always thought that cigarette smoking just messed up your lungs. I never thought that at only 45 would give me a heart attack. I never thought that it would stop me from playing basketball with my kids. Never thought that it would give me a scar like this. And I never thought that it would change my life forever. My tip is, do your heart a favor and quit now.
You can quit. For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
All right, we're ready to go racing again here with the lid lifter for the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. All the cars have been put back in line where they belong, and this is the order that we have on the racetrack. The number 27 of Blake Barney. Barney has been close on a couple of times, actually crossed the finish line first at Orange County Speedway in Rougemont, North Carolina last year, and then the win was taken away from him in post-race tech for an engine violation. Barney now leading in that black and white number 27 for Justin Gumley Motorsports. Second, the Hillbilly Racing Ride, that 79, the Sundrop Machine for Joey Braun. Braun, the Long Islander. We're on one lap until we go back to green. It'll be a double file restart. Third place is Carter McMurray. Carter, 14 years old, Bass Pro Shops on the side of that car. The son of Jamie McMurray, former NASCAR Cup Series winner. Now, Slate Myers will jump up to the fourth spot by virtue of the choose option for this restart. So Myers will wind up being on the outside of row number 2. Daniel Yates in the 18 on the inside of row number 3. And right now we have Jake Crum on the outside of row number 3. Crum led early in this race in the Jamie Tomeno number 99. Laps also being led by several other competitors. Joey Coulter is a little bit further back by virtue of this caution. It was caused by contact from the 7 of Luke Baldwin to the back bumper of Joey Coulter. Coulter went around to bring out the caution. Luke Baldwin was penalized by smart officials for that contact. Officials working with the 7 VA of Luke Baldwin. By virtue of the penalty, he is supposed to start at the rear of the lead lap cars. Jonathan Cash is back on the lead lap because of that free pass. So the 16, his teammate, needs to be in front of him. Coming to the green, this time by 3 laps left in this one. This is going to be a wild restart. It's Blake Barney on the inside, Joey Braun on the outside. They fire off a turn number 4. Braun's got the advantage. Carter McMurray spins his tires on the restart, loses a bunch of spots. Side by side, here's Braun on the outside, Blake Barney on the inside. Barney trying to get his first official win in the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. Coming to the white flag here, Joey Coulter having trouble coming up through traffic. Here comes Jake Crum. Crum, a little nudge on the 79 of Braun. Jake Crum in second. Can Crum get to the back bumper of Blake Barney? Checkered flag is out. The New Jersey Speedster, Blake Barney, wins in a side-by-side finish here at Florence to kick off the Smart Modified Tour season. Woo, Nelly. Incredible finish to this one. One more lap, Barney would have been in trouble. Jake Crum charging hard, but it's Blake Barney, the New Jersey Speedster, with the win here at Florence. Blake Barney with the victory here today, taking the celebratory lap for the driver out of New Jersey. Barney, a third-generation modified racer. His granddad, Dick Barney, Still against the Wall Stadium to watch his grandson race. His dad, Robert Barney, is here with Blake today. Blake has been through so much with the Smart Modified Tour. The disqualification after winning at Orange County Speedway last year. The engine violation, the wind stripped. Then in contention at Carteret County Speedway last year. A mishap. When was the caution called? And Blake Barney lost an opportunity there to win that race. It's time to celebrate for Blake Barney and Pace-O-Matic Victory Lane here at Florence. His entire team super excited. Robert Barney talking to his son. Blake Barney will celebrate in Victory Lane in the Palmetto State of South Carolina. Redemption for Blake Barney. He is the winner of the Zach Brewer Memorial at Florence Motor Speedway. Jake Crum, second place, coming over to congratulate Blake Barney. Blake Barney, you came into today, redemption on your mind. You're the winner, standing in Pace-O-Matic Victory Lane. What does it feel like?
It feels amazing. I mean, at no point of today, you know, with how we had our gremlins in practice and qualifying, just trying to figure out the car, we just never gave up throughout the day, and these guys never give up, and I will never give up for them because of all the hard work that they put in. So it's unbelievable, man. It's awesome.
The seas sort of parted for you here today. The top two tangle, one goes around, one gets put to the back of the field. Then people come down pit road. Did you ever think about pitting, coming down pit road, or was this your one shot, like Eminem would say?
Do not miss your chance to blow. Now we took the tire at 30, and we kind of just made our bed there. I kind of knew from there you're sitting in the middle of the field trying to save your stuff, and so many different things can happen. It could go green to the end. You know, if the caution never comes out, I finished 4th today. So, yeah, we had an amazing car compared to what we had in practice, and the fact that we can turn it around like this and just keep going at it and prove that we're proven to be down here. We have a winning car and winning team is all I can ask for. And for Smart Tour Modified win, I'm very excited.
Hey, Jake Crum was on your left rear coming to the checker. Did you know he was there? Because obviously he had a very fast race car.
Yeah, I knew that the bump was coming, so I kind of drove it so hard into 3 and 4 that by the time I got off of 4, I was like sideways coming across the line. So thanks for him for running me clean. He's a great driver, and I know he's usually good at these more wore-out racetracks, so hats off to him, and we're going to go celebrate us a win.
All right, and a win, I want to ask you, this kind of redemption for him. Tough luck last year. A violation after the win at Orange County. You got the win taken away. A mishap contending at Carteret County Speedway. How sweet does Victory Lane feel now for you?
Just proves all the stuff last year that we deserve to be here no matter what happens, and things that get in our way, we deserve to be here. So that's about it. I mean, this team deserves to be here. I'm so lucky to be able to drive this thing and have people that believe in me throughout my racing career and want to come down here, have fun, and believe in me and believe in my ability to drive a car. And they've put all their all into this, and I just love them. I don't know how else to say it. I love all of them.
Hey, I will say this before the trophy presentation. Blake told me today, well, depending how today goes, we might go to Anderson. I'm going to hold you to it. We want to see you at Anderson Motor Speedway in South Carolina. Now, Haley, with the Bankers Life Trophy presentation, the Smarty Trophy, Blake, we're going to get you to the beginning of this car here in a second. Obviously, this race in tribute to Zach Brewer here today. We get you over here in front of the car. Yes.
I just want to say that I would love to honor Zach Brewer in this race. I was never able to meet him because I didn't live down here, but I've seen videos and I've seen him race. He seems like an awesome stand-up guy, and my heart goes out to his family and everybody that supports him.
Absolutely. We are all a family within Southern Modified Racing. A congratulatory hug by Chris Williams with Blake Barney and Al Haley. Presents the Bankers Life Smarty Trophy, manufactured by Jostens in Victory Lane. Once again, put your hands together for New Jersey speedster Blake Barney. Second place here today by not that much. Jay Crum, great car here today in contention throughout the race. Any thoughts about how this shook down, especially with the strategy?
First off, I got to thank everybody, Eddie and JT Motorsports, all these guys. Obviously, our thoughts and prayers are with Jimmy. This is his seat, and I'm just filling it. So I don't want to be that guy to come in and take somebody's seat, but also I want him to know that we're praying for him and hope that, everything goes as well as it should, and we hope it will. So, but just, he's got a great team here, and now I have a great team. So we had a fast car today. We controlled the race a lot. I felt like I was keeping the tires on it, and then come to find out right there, we had a right rear kind of going down and had about 9 or 10 pounds in it. So,
good run.
Thank you. But just unfortunate. But it really stings. I would honestly almost rather had finished third or fourth, than to be that close to one of the Smarties. So, congratulations to them. They made a good call to stay out, but we didn't have a tire left at all, so we had to come.
How about that move you tried to make down in 3 and 4 and coming off a 4 almost? And I know that's not good in racing.
Well, I mean, like I said, we had a flat. We were way, way, way back, and so I didn't see what happened with Joey or Luke. So I just didn't want to be that guy to drop off in there and wreck him. I mean, he took his chances. He rolled the dice, and they deserve it. And so hopefully next week and the weeks to come, we're on the other side of the fence. But just can't thank everybody enough. My wife, Darren Barnes, her whole family, the whole GAT crew, Scott McKee, I couldn't name them all. We'd be here all day. So my parents, just everybody that invests in me and believes in me, and most of all, thank the good Lord.
Jay Crum with a great runner-up finish here today in the Zach Brewer Memorial for Jamie and Cheryl Tomato's team. We'll go to third place. Great run here today for this kid with a veteran team with Hillbilly Motorsports. There's Joey. He's back over there. Joey Braun. With the way this day started, did you ever think you'd be on the podium here today?
Nah, I thought I'll come out of this place with still nobody knowing my name, but what a run. These guys did a hell of a job getting this car together. I can't thank Rich Gerby and Highmark and Don from Stutz, Marina, and all my sponsors for this. Don Moyer, G, my girlfriend, my parents, my mom, my dad, everybody back at home. This is for the Riverhead guys. We can do it down here.
Absolutely. I'm a Riverhead guy myself, so I know what you're talking about. But I want to know, what does this really mean to you and your heart? Because I saw the disappointment earlier today kind of setting in, and then to come back and steadily make the improvements.
Well, I always knew I could drive modified. Just never had the opportunity, and I just met the right people. God put me in the right places, and got the opportunity to come down here and actually show what I'm able to do.
Now you get to go after this Rookie of the Year campaign here. Head to Anderson next week. Do you feel like you now have a little momentum on your side?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, now we got a good start, so you got to keep it rolling, right, and be consistent. And we took tires in the middle of that race, but I stood back there and saved. And I really had nothing to gauge off of. I had no practice. I got maybe 2 laps at most, and went out there for time trials. They took my fastest lap. So we just brought the car back in, made some adjustments, and had to start it last, climbed it up to third, and I can't be more proud of these guys. This Hillbilly Racing team. This is really special. Highmark, all my sponsors, Sun Drop, all the guys that helped me with my legend car career, and all the guys I drove for back at home at Riverhead. This is all for them. This is a really cool deal.
A great day, and I'm sure we're going to be hearing a lot more about Joey Braun here this year with his 79 car for David Hill and everybody at Hillbilly Motorsports. What a heck of a ride and a turnaround for them here today. Folks, we've had a great time with you here today. Blake Barney, his team, celebrating in victory lane here at Florence Motor Speedway. A lot more racing still to come. Crate mods, Bandoleros, Legends cars, and a whole lot more. It can be seen on Ultra Broadcasting. This will conclude our Flow Racing broadcast here today. So on behalf of Steve Zacharias, his family, his entire staff, to the Brewer family that were here today as well, as we pay tribute to a great man. It was a wonderful, wonderful day. A lot more racing to come. But on behalf of Chris Williams and the entire Smart Modified Tour staff, I am Bob Dillner. We'll see you next Saturday, Anderson, South Carolina, for the Pace-O-Matic 99.
Thanks to Bob Dillner and all the folks at